Well, hey there guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, we've got some back-to-school projects that you can make with the WeCreat Lumos portable laser engraver. Well, on last week's show, we spent like 25 minutes going through the contents of the laser, doing some quick tests, but I really felt that we didn't do the laser justice. I really feel that I could have shown more, but I also didn't want to skip out on showing you what was sent out and showing you some of the accessories that come with it. So on today's show with school just around the corner, it's less than a month away, I believe, we are going to do some back to school projects that involve using the laser engraver, and we're going to do them all on the WeCreat Lumos. So why don't we head inside, because that's where I've got it set up right now. We'll do these projects, give you some ideas of how you can engrave things for the school year. We'll do some more testing with the laser, and let's see how we make out with this on today's show. Well, for the first project, I've just placed a simple agenda book here in the laser. It's a leather-bound agenda book. So here on the WeCreat Make It, I have set our material to leather. I've set my thickness at 21 millimeters. That is what I have measured the book to be. A line engraving, I've set it to 50% and a speed of 250. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try it. So we're just going to click Start here at the top of our Make It software, and we will send it to our laser and test the engraving and see how we make out. Well, truth be told, that worked, but it's not very prominent. So I'm not going to move anything. I'm going to change some of my settings, some of my parameters, and engrave the agenda book again. Okay, and I'm a lot happier with that. It's a nice deep engraving. I can feel it across the leather, and it looks great. It's very subtle, and it'd be great for like a college student who doesn't want the bright engraving on their stuff. Well, the next thing we have here with our agenda book done is a pair of child's scissors, the safety scissors. Now the blade is metal, and that's where we're going to engrave. So let's see if we can't get my granddaughter's name engraved on her scissors. So because this is a material that is not necessarily listed in our list of general materials, we're going to use manual focus. And we're just going to turn the dial until we get our blue and our red dots down here in our working area to align. And once they're aligned, that should now be in focus for that height of material. So let's look into the WeCreat Make It software and get our engraving set up. Okay, so we have refreshed our image here, and we have her name on the blade positioned. The thing that we want to remember here is we need to click this to red light, which is the infrared. And we have it for fill engrave red light. We've already manually focused. So we're going to go with the suggestion at 78% power and 305 millimeters per second. One pass, let's do here. I want to do 3 passes. I want a darker engraving. So let's just click Start and see how this makes out. And guys, don't forget your fume extraction for this. Now you just want to be careful not to move anything here in case you're not happy with that engraving. But you know what? From here, I can see that that looks pretty good. I'll just show you how that turned out. And I think we can call that one complete. We can move on to our next project. Well, for our next project, what child doesn't like customized pencils? So I have our cutting insert here that I showed you on last week's show, and we have used that to align 6 of our pencils. And then over here in the Make It software, I have our engraving set at each one of our pencils to personalize each one. So I've put this for a fill engraving. We're going to do 2 passes, 100% power. 158 millimeters per second. That may be excessive, but we're about to find out. So we'll just like the other projects, we're going to click start and then send it to the laser. Now guys, you want to make sure that you've got your fume extraction here, or if you opted to get the laser without the fume extraction, at least make sure you've got this vented to the outside. So let's get these pencils engraved and see how they work out. And we'll just show you that there. And those look great. Crystal clear engraving, very deep, very dark. I like that. And if you have a child whose name has an odd spelling, this is a great way to get them back to the school, personalized items where normally they wouldn't be available. Well, keeping in line with our pencils, not everything has to be a pencil and not everything has to be a personalized item as far as their name. So we have colored pencils here. We have a set of 24. I've lined them up in the engraver in the same way that I did before with our slotted base plate or our cutting base plate. And I have here on the Make It software a couple of sayings: what you're coloring, artist at work, masterpiece in progress, I'm creating stuff, color with your heart, and I'm a real artist. Now guys, you can change this up as much as you want. I think I'm just going to keep these 6 sayings and engrave them 4 times on the different pencils. I have my settings set here to 100% power with a fill engrave, 2 passes at 158 millimeters per second. We're going to use the diode laser. So let's just send this to the laser. We're going to focus manually, and we will send this to the laser and engrave all 6 of these pencils, and I'll show you how they turned out. Well, I guess the coating on these is a little different. I ended up getting a flame warning. We could probably see it in the video when it was engraving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the power of the laser and we will try it again. I don't want it to be as powerful of an engraving. So maybe I'll drop it down to 50% and double my passes, and that should hopefully fix it up. Well, the diode did not work. It is not compatible with the coating, but let me just show you what the infrared laser did. So the infrared is not necessarily just for the metal. So guys, if you're having problems with one, you can always try the other and see if that will work for your needs. And in this case, it did. So I'm going to get all the rest of these pencils engraved, and that will be the whole set done. Well, we're going to transfer from the grade school student to the university student. Now, guys, how about a coffee press? Now, here's the thing, though. Back to school university students, do you really think that they're going to remember how much coffee to use and how to make it? Or are they going to send you a text every few days and say, Dad, I can't figure this out? I figure it's going to be the text message. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the infrared, and we're going to engrave the instructions on the lid of our coffee press. All right, so I have refreshed my view here of our lid. I've disassembled it to have it fit properly inside the laser. And I've come up with this little design here: 5 rounded scoops of coffee, 1 liter of water, pour water, wait 1 minute, stir, wait 5 minutes, press and serve. So there's no messing this up, and they won't have to text to get the instructions. So again, we have our red light over here. I'm not sure of our settings. We're just going to check that. You can click on your image and that will bring this up. So we have a fill engrave, which is what we want, 100% at 10 millimeters per second. That's fine, but I want a little better engraving or a darker engraving. I'm actually going to go, you know what, let's go 2 passes. I can always change it if I want it darker. So with that done now, and we're happy with this, the way it aligns, we're just going to click start. And again, guys, you want to make sure that you've got your fume extractor running. If you're not 100% sure, it's better to run your fume extractor than not, because you don't know exactly what kind of fumes might come off of one of your engravings. So we're going to send this off to our laser and get this coffee press lid engraved. Okay, and with this one done, guys, Look at that. That's amazing. That needs just a little bit of a wipe. It's got some charring there. You can see if I can wipe that away with my thumb. But that looks absolutely incredible. Love that 3-watt infrared. That's amazing. What a great engraving. Okay, so we're going to do one more project here. And what university student doesn't need a water bottle? All right, so I have my design here and I have it set at the top for a laser cylindrical, in other words, with our rotary. I have our rotary tool secured to our base plate with the included hardware, and I have my water bottle secured in here. I've done manual focus to make sure that everything is focused in, and we're just going to try to give this an engraving. We're going to be doing this with the infrared laser. I have my settings here at 100% and 600 millimeters per second. I think this might be a little quick. So I'm going to do one pass and then we'll see. I may have to do secondary passes after that. But let's see if we can get this to engrave with the rotary. So we'll start, send it to the laser, and after we hit our fume extractor, we'll start this engraving. And we can just release this from the rotary, just like this, and we'll see how it looks. It's hard to tell with the reflections, but it looks something like this. And you know what, that's a pretty good engraving. We'll just clean it up a little bit. It looks like there was something on the bottle that messed up our tea a little bit, but that's okay. Once this is washed, it'll clean right up. And there you go, guys. There is a bunch of back-to-school engravings that you can do with the WeCreat Lumos portable laser engraver. And there you have it. Back-to-school projects that you can make with the WeCreat Lumos portable laser engraver. Guys, this show was kind of, had several purposes. One of them, of course, was to make some back-to-school projects and to show you guys the type of things that you can do. Maybe give you a couple of inspirational ideas. The other thing was to push the tests of the machine a little further. On last week's show, I brought you kind of an overview of the entire thing, and I never really got the chance during that show because it ran on for so long to put the machine to some viable tests. So today we got to test a bunch of things. We got to test, for starters, the infrared, the ability to engrave on stainless steel, as in the case with the water bottle and with the coffee press lid. We also used the infrared to engrave on those colored pencils that did not like the diode. And those flames in that engraving that you saw here on the screen, guys, that is nothing more than a testament to show you exactly why you never leave your diode laser unattended while it's working, ever. I don't care how many flame detectors this thing has in it, you always have to be there to babysit it. You can't just start a job and walk away. And those flames that are in there just goes to show why. Because if for some reason those flame detectors didn't work, or they failed, or they were shut off, or they malfunctioned, or something, you're going to have a problem. So always stay with your laser. Anyway, it proved that you can use the infrared to engrave other things. It doesn't have to be metal. There is a whole plethora of materials that you can engrave using infrared, as well as using diode. Just the diode didn't like the finish on those colored pencils. So we got to test those things. We also got to test the rotary. Now that rotary is slick. I mean, it really has a great variety of different types of attachment points that you can attach whatever it is that you're engraving. So one of them didn't work for the water bottle. Okay, I changed it to a different one and eventually found one that worked perfect just by playing around with it. It's not rocket science. It is not anything technical. It's just playing around with the machine to learn the ins and outs. And I really enjoy that kind of stuff, learning new things. As well, we got to test that fume extractor. And guys, this fume extractor got used for every single one of the projects burning today, whether we were burning wood with the pencils, which creates a lot of smoke, whether we were burning the leather with the agenda book, which also created smoke, whether we were burning stainless steel, which can cause fumes if there's a coating on that steel. If you don't know what you're dealing with, it's good to have the extractor. And I have to tell you, not once during the entire day. This was a full day of filming and engraving. I started at 10 a.m., I finished at 5 p.m. And I'm gonna tell you, not once during that entire session did I ever catch any kind of smell of any odor, any fumes, anything. It was perfect from the whole time. And I think I've mentioned it before that in our living room, we have one of those air purifiers that's constantly sampling the air. And when it samples that something is a little amiss, that thing kicks in and starts filtering out the air like crazy. It never kicked in for the whole day of engraving. So that is a good testament to say how well that fume extractor works. I'm very pleased with it. I think it works just 100% fantastically well. I'm very confident in using that. And if you're someone that, say, does engravings at a show, this would really help you. I know the other one did have odors that it emitted. It took away the fumes, but not the smell of the engraving. And there was a lot of complaints about that. Well, I'm going to tell you, this model does not allow anything out. It is perfect. Like, no one's even going to know you're engraving other than seeing the machine itself work. So it's great for those of you that want to do craft shows, trade shows, that sort of thing. Either way, guys, these are fun projects, back to school projects for the kids, whether you have a child in grade school or you have a child in university. It doesn't matter. These are accessible to anyone. They are easy to do. The laser is very user-friendly. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The WeCreat line of lasers are the most user-friendly lasers I have ever had the pleasure of using, and the Lumos is no different. Just a fantastic little machine, a fantastic little package. And if you're interested in that, the links are going to be down below so that you can check it out. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Now, one thing that we didn't get to test today was that hood, that portable hood that you can basically engrave on whatever surface you want. Things that are too large to fit into the engraver, you have that little hood that you can just place over top and do your engraving. Now, what I want to do is, I did talk to WeCreat about that slide extension, and they did confirm that they are going to be sending me one out. Right now, it's out of stock, but they're going to be sending it out to me. And when they do, I'm hoping to do another show here. We're going to showcase that slide extension, and we're going to give that portable engraving a try. We're going to give that a whirl. I'm excited to give that a try because that opens up a whole different ball game. You know, you've got a big piece of furniture, a table, say, that you made and you forgot to engrave it, or the pieces are too large to engrave. You sit this little guy over top, hit the button, and boom, you've got your engraving. At least your, your logo on it, that sort of thing. I'm looking forward to trying that. Either way, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, if you found any part of today's show likable, funny, informative, enjoyable, why not like and subscribe to the channel? Guys, we have an amazing audience base here, as you can tell by the comments below, and I'm hoping that you're going to consider becoming a part of that. As I said, I'm going to place all the links down below for this product. If you are interested in checking out the Lumos, please do. It is a great little laser. I love this little thing. I want to thank WeCreat very much for sending this out. I hope you're going to check out the links. I hope you're going to try some of these back to school projects for yourself if you have a laser engraver or if you get a laser engraver. And more importantly, guys, I hope you're going to join me again next week when I bring you yet another Alternative Tuesday.